So we finally got answers, and I can't even say that we were shocked. We kind of knew that from the state Natasha was in during Endgame, that Yelena got dusted. But it is great to see two things. The first one, that she kept her promise from the end of Black Widow, which is essentially Yelena was going around the world freeing Black Widows to essentially be able to go out and live their own lives. And they visit this one widow who is no longer under mind control, but is essentially assassin for hire. Now, it's interesting to see that for Yelena, it was more or less freeing the widows so that the widows can go off and live their own lives without any type of issue whatsoever. But once she got dusted and then she came back, it seems as though all of that she was working towards got thrown out of the window. It seems as though the Black Widows ended up essentially being assassins for hire again, because Hawkeye is familiar with them from the last episode where he says that somebody's hired a Black Widow assassin to essentially kill me. This essentially means that Hawkeye, while he was Ronin, encountered Black Widows who did not get dusted like Yelena. And it is great to see that Marvel decided to go back. I like the fact that this episode essentially started showing and revealing the fact that she did get dusted, and that there's a level of tension inside the Widows, where for Yelena it was more or less sisterhood and freedom and being able to live their own lives. But then without her essentially being the head of the Widows, they ended up being taken under by somebody else and turned into weapons. And when she came back, essentially she also had to default into that exact same world and life, which is she ended up being a weapon as well. And we're definitely going to talk about the person that hired her to go after Clint, because that in and of itself is super fucking interesting. But yeah, it's great to see that Hawkeye definitely circled back and let us know that the reason why Natasha was kind of essentially depressed along with Captain America was the fact that her first family was erased and half of her second family was gone. And for Yelena, she woke up 5 years later, and before she could even get to see Natasha, she was already dead. So I'm happy for that in general. I really hope that going forward we get a lot more I don't know, stories from during the blip, because it's such an interesting time seeing what essentially all the characters were up to and how exactly they were living their lives. It's one of the things that Shang-Chi kind of skipped over, which I kind of wish it had. It would have been great to see who disappeared during the blip, because it seems as though Shang and Katie survived along with the Mandarin, but then half of the world also got decimated, so who left, who came back, that type of stuff. But yeah, Yelena got dusted. She came back after Endgame when Hulk snapped everybody back into existence. That's super fucking dope. There's going to be another video which is going to be talking about essentially the person who hired her and why that is so much fucking hype. But yeah, I'll catch you in that video. Peace.